Lone Wolf Customs, once again, bought a go-kart. It's a YERF Dog, or however you pronounce it. Got it for a whopping $50, which is pretty well complete. It was a little more complete before I cut all this off, which is the old engine that is completely shot. The tires are flat, but it does roll. Gonna put regular go-kart engine on it, 5-horse Briggs, just for playing, but the gear's too far this way, so I'm gonna try to flip the rear end, which should make the gear over here, which means I should be able to fit the engine, which is what I'm fixing to be doing. Ultimately, don't know what I'm planning on doing with this thing, really. It's crossed my mind to take a motorcycle and cut the frame in half right in front of the motor and graft it onto the back of this and make a 3-wheel reverse trike, which I think would be pretty cool. In theory, could get it tagged and be street legal. Definitely have to do something with the front suspension though. The other option that I had thought of, if I didn't want to really try street, take a 2-wheel drive 4-wheeler and do it basically the exact same thing. Cut it right in front of the engine, graft the whole 4-wheeler back here, and might be able to even graft the front of the 4-wheeler on the front of this thing, and might be able to make a pretty cool little just trail buggy. Thing is, I don't really have a lot of trails. Doesn't mean I couldn't make them, but well, I'm gonna tear into this and be back to you in a bit. Alright, as you see, I took the metal plates off. They're laying over there. And I took the rear end out and I flipped it. So that was the driver's side wheel, now it's the passenger. That was the passenger, now it's the driver. And I put the sprocket over here. Now, of course, the brake's over here, so I have to take and do some customization, make it fit over here. But other than that, the sprocket's there. Now, I don't have a go-kart clutch yet. I'm gonna have to get one. And yes, this is a very small engine because I can pick it up with one hand. But for shits and giggles, let's say that mount it right there, roughly. It's not actually straight or anything, but you can see what I'm saying. Got some room here, got room up here, in theory she would work. Of course, I'd actually have to get a mount or build a mount or whatnot. Shouldn't be terribly difficult. And I gotta get a go-kart clutch. I gotta put the carburetor and exhaust back on this. So this little engine came off of a water pump. So that's what it was. A little gas-powered irrigation pump for pumping water out of like a pond or a lake or a creek to irrigate your garden. I've still got the pump, but I don't need the pump. Really don't need a go-kart, but why not? So now that will fit, because if you remember, it was over here and over here. There ain't no way it would have, the crank start and everything was all in the fucking tire, so that wouldn't work. Of course, I ain't got no nuts on, well, I got a nut on that one. The others don't have nuts. They're just temporarily stuck together. But if you can notice, it's getting kind of dark out here. It's getting lighter and lighter. The sun ain't went down, but I can still see, but it's starting to get late. And it's humid as hell. I'm sweating my ass off. But there's all that. Oh. And yes, I can fit in it. Which I know somebody's going to ask, can I even fit in this thing? But I can fit. But there it is. Ultimately, my goal is to try to do this as cheap as possible. So I'm going to literally try not to spend any money if possible to build this. And when I go to do the four-wheeler on the ass, or the motorcycle on the ass, or however I end up doing what I'm planning on doing, which I don't even know what I'm doing yet, I'm going to try to do that as cheap as possible. Currently, I have a whopping $60 total in this vehicle. So, at this current moment, I have $60, and I have not a clue how much I paid for the engine because I bought it years and years and years ago and used it to run an air compressor and every damn thing else under the sun. So, since I've used it so much, I say its value has, my initial cost probably has reached zero with it. So I'm not counting that. So let's see how cheap can I do this. If I can get a running motorcycle cheap, I'll use every darn little piece on it. I'll use all the pieces of the Buffalo. So, yep, that's what it is. Thanks for watching. I have no idea when the next update on this thing will be, but whenever it is, y'all see it. Alright, thanks, bye, subscribe, see you.